Good morning, everybody. I would like to call the meeting, the organizational meeting for Lethbridge County, 9:30 a.m. Thursday, October 20th, to order. Now, I will be here for a little bit until we vote in the Reeve, as we do every year. So the request is, do we want to do nominations by secret ballot or by hand up? Okay, so I put forward a motion that council utilize the voting procedures of secret ballot where there's more than one of the required numbers of nominations. Do you want to read that for me, Larry?
I don't have it.
Okay. That council utilize the voting procedures of secret ballot when there is more than the required number of nominations for the office of Reeve, Deputy Reeve, and committees. So I'd have to put that forward to the floor. A mover? Yep. Seconder? All in favor? Carried. So we will pass out the ballots for the position of Reeve. Oh, the destruction? Oh, yeah, yeah. What's that, 2 and 3? Oh, yeah. So the second motion is that all ballots are destroyed at the end of meeting. Could I have a mover? Seconder? Carried. All in favor? Oops, sorry, carried. That's why I don't want to sit here. Okay, so, and then appointment of scrutineers, that council appoint Larry Randall, Director of Community Services, and Jennifer Place, Manager of Finance and Administration, as scrutineers. Could I have a mover? John? Seconder? Klaas? All in favor? That's okay. Carried. Carried. Okay. They're noisier over there, Eric, that's why.
So the process now, as you appreciate, is we'll hand out a ballot for the nominations for the position of Reeve as per the motion that was just adopted by council. May I suggest that after you've filled the ballot out, that you take the ballot just like this and fold it inward once, sort of equally in half, and then it absolutely remains secret when we come around to pick them up, and then we'll. That's a good go from there. Okay.
Larry's awesome at procedure. Go, Larry.
Name outside? You need a little ballot box now, Larry.
Possibly. Apparently we don't have one. Maybe we could or should get one. I mean, I can gather those up in any event.
Just gather them.
You'll be fine.
Just gather them up.
There's only 7.
Or you can use the dice box.
You have to go in the walk.
Might get stuck with the icing.
A couple more there. Great, thank you. And I'll just hand those right over to the Chief Administrative Officer in the chair seat for now, and she can read the names of those who are nominated for the position of Reeve.
I have 4 nominations for Tori Campbell for the position of Reeve, 1 nomination for Klaas Vanderveen for the position of Reeve, 1 nomination for John Kurbis. Oh, sorry, that's 5 for Tori. And then 1 for Klaas Vanderveen and 1 for John Kurbis. Okay. Next steps, Larry?
Chairman, I would suggest that maybe you ask each of the nominees if they are willing to
To-
accept the nomination.
Are you willing to accept, Kim? Klaas? You decline? Okay.
Okay, I'll now hand out the secret ballots for the vote for position of Reeve, and again, just, I suggest.
Small point of order?
Pardon me?
Small point of order? Yep.
Yeah. There was only
They're
2
not necessary.
nominations, and both myself and Klaas.
Declined.
Decline. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. So, Tori.
Focused on the next step.
That's okay. That's okay. So, congratulations, Councillor Campbell, Reeve Campbell. And if you could come, step up and swear in oath of office for Reeve with Candace will help you with that. I'm out of here. See ya.
Yeah, I think Candace gave it to me. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated. We can move down now in our agenda down to D1, appointment of Reeve. Deputy Reeve, sorry. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we would need a motion then. Klaas, what are we moving, Candace?
Just that Tori Campbell be appointed as Reeve Campbell for the 2022-2023.
Thank you, Candace. You comfortable with that motion, Klaas?
Yes.
Any discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Then moving on to the election of Deputy Reeve. Sorry. I would at this time then call for nominations for the position of Deputy Reeve.
Wonder, Mr. Chairman, if I may, the motion at the beginning of the meeting was for, I think, the nominations in both cases to be done by secret ballot, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe.
Yes, thank you, Larry.
That's fine, we'll hand out again secret ballot for nominations only for the.
Thank you, Larry. We have 3 nominations for the position of Deputy Reeve: Lorne Hickey, Klaas Vanderveen, and John Kurbis. I will go around and ask if you accept this nomination. John? John will let his name stand. Klaas?
Yes,
Klaas will let his name stand. Lorne?
I would decline.
Lorne has declined, so we have 2 nominations for the position of Deputy Reeve. Larry now will distribute some ballots for us. So we have the results as Larry indicated, and the Deputy Reeve for the upcoming year will be John Kurbis. Congratulations, John. If we could have, maybe we'll have that a motion, and then Candace will have some paperwork. So the motion would be that John Kurbis be appointed as Deputy Reeve of Lethbridge County for the 2022-2023 year. Thanks, Lauren. Lauren has moved that John Kurbis be appointed as Deputy Reeve for Lethbridge County for the 2022-2023 year. Any further discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Congratulations, John.
I, John Curtis, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of Deputy Reeve for Lethbridge County. So help me God.
Thank you, everyone, for your participation, and thank you to staff for preparing those ballots and helping us with that process. We can now move down in our agendas to item E, appointment of internal committees. Voting is required for each committee. So I would maybe get a little advice from administration how we'd like to proceed. So Larry, we are at item E, the voting required, or the appointment of internal committees. How would we like to proceed here? Is there any rhyme or reason to how we should proceed?
Yes, and I think Candace has it mostly prepared and figured out here what we have. As you can see via the agenda, appointment of internal committees, voting required for the following committees, and we'll start, I think, with number 1, the Agricultural Service Board. We need at least 4 members of council and up to 3 members of the public. And we have collected and are collecting still applications from the public for those 3 positions. So we would anticipate that in the near future, council will choose 3 appointees there. So I think we're looking at 4 members of council to be part of the Agricultural Services Board. And currently on our list, we have 6 council members who have expressed an interest. So here in my other hand, we do have a full-page ballot with the 6 names of the 6 councillors who have expressed an interest to be on the Agricultural Service Board. And we would ask, once I hand out the ballots, that each council member please choose up to 4, but not more than 4 members from this list of 6. And maybe I should just note that the only council member of the 7 who is not on this list is Reeve Tory Campbell, so the remaining 6 of you for ease of reference and for anyone who might.
And maybe with that, Mark?
So I'd like to take my name off the list, please.
I would, extend that to the rest of the council. If this is an opportunity, if you'd like to remove your name from that list, please feel free now. And if not, we'll just maybe scratch that off, and we still will have to vote though. So.
Because there are still 5, and
Yeah.
again, we just need 4 positions. Please don't vote for Councillor Mark Sayers. If anyone inadvertently does, I'll just be scratched as not counting. And similar to what we did before, may I suggest that we just go from top to bottom or bottom to top and fold the ballot in half equally. I'll collect them, then we'll tally them and present the results to Reeve Campbell.
We need 1. 2 ballots?
That would excuse things.
Maybe, maybe while they're tallying there, maybe if we just look down a little bit on the Audit and Emergency Advisory Committee, I will take credit or take the blame, I guess, for those two being on the list. I was the third member on both of those. I guess my rationale for not putting my name forward was just that as Reeve, having that ability as the ex officio to sit on those committees, and with what comes with being Reeve, I was in a position where I was willing to open that opportunity up to other members of council. If there is no interest, I don't have a problem letting my name stand for either of those, but I did want to just put that out to the larger group, I guess, that I would be more than willing to step back from those, especially emergency advisory. I have been on that since I first came on to council, so just throw that out there, I guess.
I wouldn't have a problem sitting on emergency advisory committee.
Okay, thank you.
Be interested in audit, if we're voting anyway, go on emergency.
Okay, well, that gives us something to think about once we get there then, yeah. Thank you, both. Thank you. You knew better. Thank you. So for our Agricultural Service Board, we were looking for 4 members, and the 4 members that we have that have been selected are Klaas, John, Lorne, and Eric. Congratulations. So I would then need, or do we want to do one motion to capture that, or individually, or one's fine? Okay, so then we can, sorry, John? We'll capture, I think we can capture all 3 of these in one motion once we go through them then.
Oh.
Is that, yeah, that's what I was asking.
I thought you meant capture all of them.
Sorry.
Forward as one.
So then we can move down to our second item then, Audit Committee, 3 members, and as I stated, I was the third member on that, willing to take my name off of that. I guess I would throw it out to the group then if there is interest from the floor. Eric?
Thank you, I'm interested in standing on the audit committee.
Are there any other members who are interested in that committee? If not, that would then bring us to our 3 members, and that does not require a vote. We can move down now to item 3, the Emergency Advisory Committee. We are looking for 3 members. Currently, we have Mark and Morris having their names put forward. Do we have additional members from the floor who are interested in that position? John? Any other members interested in the Emergency Advisory Committee? Eric?
I'm interested as well.
Okay. Morris as well?
I'll decline.
You'll decline? Okay. So then we would have Mark, John, and Eric as part of our Emergency Advisory Committee. Okay, so then we could have, if we could have a motion to capture, who's the, sorry, the third for the Audit Committee was Eric as well? Okay.
You want me to read the motion, or?
Please.
So that we appoint Klaas, Lorne, John, and Eric for the Agricultural Service Board. That we appoint Lorne, John, and Eric for the Audit Committee. And that one-year term.
Go ahead, Candace.
Move that county council confirms the result of the county. Yeah, but that's not all of the appointments. Internal.
Okay. Someone feel comfortable making that motion? Klaas?
Yeah, I'll move that we appoint the internal committees as presented.
Thank you, Klaas. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. We can now move down
Extra.
to our external committees, and
And 1 to 8 just needs a motion because there's no voting required for that.
Assuming there's no changes.
We are assuming maybe one was voting.
what's the, sorry, I'm just confused with the F1 and the G1. What's the,
Page over.
oh, sorry.
We-
Thank you.
Double
Thank you.
check.
Holy cow, thank you.
we vote
Thanks,
for
Eric.
internal committees. The first ones, we have the right amount of people on the committees.
Okay.
So there's no voting required. G1 to 8, we do need voting.
Lauren?
What, that number one, we have one member who's a voting member who's not on the committee anymore.
Yep. Thank you, Lauren. So then, go ahead.
Number 8, we should have a little discussion as to whether we should keep that or not,
Okay,
because we don't even know. I'll explain it if you want later.
for sure. Thank you.
Okay.
So then thank you, Lauren, for pointing that out. So on number 1, ASB delegates with voting privileges. So we have so our current slate would then be Klaas, John, Lorne, and Eric as part of that committee. And we need to establish voting members, or voting privileges, correct? Okay.
Uh,
Eric?
Would that be the same then as we're appointing who's going to be the chair?
No. That will take place at the next ASB meeting, I believe, correct? Previously, we would have handled it like that, Eric, I believe, but now that we have,
Should we be deciding who's voting, because else we're eliminating a member of public from being able to have that position if the chair is automatically going to take the position?
I would open that up to John?
I would say that that's a very good suggestion, because I think we've had discussions with in regards to the ASB board, that we wouldn't preclude members of the public having voting rights.
Okay.
And therefore, I mean, if we decide who has voting rights here, we are precluding them as a result of that action.
I'd like to make a motion that we remove ASB from the external committee voting right now.
Any objections to that? Jeremy, do you want maybe,
Just a point of, there is an upcoming, on the October 25th, there is a ASB meeting, and there is resolutions that are included as part of that, afforded to the 2023 conference. So there is still maybe just a slight amendment to that motion to existing voting members just stay until they're voted in.
Lauren?
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Okay. John?
Sorry, with the exception, because Klaas is, sorry, not Klaas, but Morris is no longer on the committee. So that would just leave Lorne and Klaas then.
The alternate, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that clear?
Yep.
And we have a motion, Candace, then to capture that? Jeremy, can you maybe just say what you said again, please?
Okay, just a motion to forward the voting delegates to, or I guess the first part would be the voting delegates remain as Lorne and Klaas Vanderveen as existing ASB board members, and then new voting members will be voted in at the next ASB committee meeting.
John?
Thank you. I would just, basically, I would capture it this way. I'd like to move that the two current members of the ASB board that are still active, meaning Lorne and Klaas, continue with their voting privileges until the first ASB meeting when the first board meets, and then they can be revisited at that time.
Have something that'll work, Candace, then? Okay, thank you. John? Any further discussion? Oh, sorry, Larry?
Oh, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Just as a procedural point for all of us to keep in mind, administration in particular, I think that when the ASB makes that selection, I believe it has to come forward then at a future meeting to council as a recommendation, for council to kind of ratify it, right?
We're aware.
Yeah.
Thanks, Larry. Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Question.
Yes, go ahead, Klaas.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So voting for the chair, is that just gonna be done by the whole committee?
Yes.
Is that correct? And that wouldn't be till the spring then, right?
No, we have one scheduled for December, I believe, an ASB committee meeting.
Okay, thank you. So that we have dealt with item F1, and now we have the remaining slate in front of us, and I will go to Lorne then, if you'd like, Lorne.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So number 8, Foothills Little Bow Director. Foothills Little Bow is unaware there's even such a thing as a director position. And we'll be having a discussion at the RMA about whether they want to have directors again, because they seem to think they don't have them, along with a lot of other things which are not on the plate. So I don't see a point in filling that for the present time.
Klaas?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So you're saying that the Little Bow does not have, they only have a chair and a vice chair?
Well, the way it was set up originally, there was supposed to be, I believe, 5 directors, plus the chair and the vice chair. But somehow along the paperwork, they have lost the original documents and have no bylaws that indicate as such, and they weren't even aware that there was such a thing as directors. So I don't see the point of appointing somebody. There's
So potentially just leave that vacant then,
I
Lorne?
would.
Okay. Any discussion? So if that is the case, then I think we could have a motion to capture items 2 through 18, with the exception that we would leave item 8, Foothills Little Bow, vacant. Does that sound agreeable? Yes, Ann?
Just for clarity too, I think we should send a letter to Foothills Little Bow and just ask if there's going to be some resolution to this situation.
Okay. Lorne?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So at RMA, they asked for a group of volunteers to sit together and have a small meeting about the funding, what they're gonna do, because they have quite a bit of money in the bank, if they should disperse it to the municipalities again, or should they pay a municipality to be the host municipality, and what should they do about representation as directors or what? So they'll have that and they'll make the recommendation to the next Foothills Little Bow meeting.
Excellent. Okay. Do we have someone willing to move, as I indicated, items 2 through 18, with the exception of we would leave number 8 vacant? Thank you, Lorne. Any discussion? Does that work for administration? Okay. If there's no further discussion, I will call a question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. And now we can move down. So we're at G, representatives for external committees. Voting required for each committee. So first off, we have the County Irrigation and AIPA. We are looking for 2 members, and at this point, we have indications of 3 members that are interested: Klaas, Morris, and Eric. Would all 3 of you like to let your name stand? Okay, then we will have a vote.
Chairman, if I can just point out here, make one suggestion, voting for committee by secret ballot. In this case, it's a committee of more than two, or, pardon me, there are 3 candidates. So we need 2 names. There's only 1 spot for a name here. But if you'll see just above that line, if all council members can see that clearly, might we suggest that you just use above the number 1 as the second line, and so you can vote for up to 2 of the 3 council members who are nominated, sort of like the standard. That works?
Thank you, Larry. And so Klaas, Morris, and Eric are the names that have been put forward. So for the county irrigation and AIPA, we are looking for 2 members, and we are in need of a second vote. So Klaas has been secured as one of the members. We will need to conduct a second vote between Morris and Eric. Correct?
Correct.
Thank you. So Larry will distribute the ballots, and this time so between Morris and Eric, we are looking for 1 member from those 2. Have questions.
I think that's probably what we said more.
Thanks, Larry. Not usually this time around. I think you're the wrinkle in this time, just because, yeah.
Trying to elbow nudge my way into a thing or two.
Well, yeah, we knew that was gonna happen, yeah.
And with that, we have Lawrence, who has been selected. So our two members for the county irrigation and AIPA are Klaas and Ballots. Move down to item number 2, the intermunicipal committee for Village of Barron. We are looking for 1 member, and at this time we have 2 members that have shown interest, Morris and Eric. Would both of you like to let your names stand? Morris, Eric? I think it's okay. Yeah. Those are fine. Okay, so with that then, Morris, you will serve on the intermunicipal committee for Village of Barons. And move down to item 3, Nullford. We are looking for 3 members, and we currently have Eric and Morris.
Klaas?
Why is there only 1 member for Barons and there's 3 members for the other ones?
Because the council, through you, Chair, because there's only 3 members on the Barron's council, so otherwise there would be outnumbered.
Okay, so is there interest, then I would ask for interest from the floor for a 3rd member for the Nobleford IDP committee. John?
I've got my name down.
Thank you, John. Anyone else? Okay, so then for the IDP committee for the town of Nobleford, we have Eric, Morris, and John. Thank you, John. Moving down, the Lethbridge Regional Waste Commission, we are in search of 2 members, and we currently have Klaas, Mark, and John interested. Mark? Mark has pulled his name from that, so then we would have Klaas and John. Anything further? Thank you. Moving down to item 5, the Malloy Drain Steering Committee, 2 members and an alternate. Currently, we have Tori and Lorne, and are in need of an alternate. Is there any interest from the floor? Not all at once. Mark? Okay. Any others? If not, we would have Tori, Lorne, and Mark as the alternate for the Malloy Drain Steering Committee. Moving down, item 6, Pitcher Butte Chamber of Commerce. We are in search of 1 member, and we currently have 2 interested, Morris and Eric. Would you both like to let your name stand? Okay, then we will have a vote. We are looking for 1 member, so the vote is between Morris and Eric, and we are in need of 1 member. Thanks, Larry. Thank you, Larry. For item 6, the Pitcher Butte Chamber of Commerce, we are looking for one member, and Eric has been selected. So Eric has been selected for the Pitcher Butte Chamber of Commerce. Moving down, South Grow, item 7, we're looking for one member, and Mark and John have both let their names stand. John?
I will withdraw from that.
John has withdrawn his name. Any other interested parties? If not, Mark will be our appointee to South Grow. Moving down to item 8, the Southern Regional Stormwater Drainage Committee, one member and one alternate. I am currently the member. I would let my name stand for that. We would be looking for an alternate if there's interest. Eric, do you have interest?
Yes, I have interest.
Okay. Eric is willing to let his name stand as an alternate. Anyone else? If not, that should fill out our slate. Candace, is there a recommended motion for that? Thank you. Thanks, Candace. Sorry? Morris has moved that recommendation that we accept the results of the representatives for external committees for the 2022-2023 year, items G1 through 8. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. We can move down then to item I, appointment of officials. The Axe Appeal Committee for Soil Conservation, Weed, and Pest Control Appeal Committee for members at large.
So currently there are 4 members on the Axe Appeal, which are Will Schulten, Brian Harbers, Rob Bending, and Steve Campbell. Will has submitted a letter to the on the Ag Service Board, so he's removed his name as of for now from the Axe Appeal Committee, which leaves us with Brian Harbers, Rob Bending, and Steve Campbell.
Could you two speak up? I didn't have my hearing.
The challenges are supposed to be 4, but one of the applicants has their name on the ag service thing, which we're dealing with at the next part of the regular scheduled meeting. So I was just asking Candace, can we move this to afterwards in the regular agenda? Or does it have to be
vice
at
versa?
the
I
org
suppose
meeting?
we could accept the 3 right now, and
Yep.
then following that discussion, we could have that at that time too, I suppose,
That's
if
a
that
good
was
idea.
agreeable.
Because I do believe if Will doesn't get on the Ag Service Board, he will.
You would
be
like to
on
stay?
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Lauren?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So why couldn't that person sit on both?
He doesn't want to sit on both.
Oh.
It's one or the other for him, that's his.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his preference.
Okay.
So then, yeah, whatever council's wish is, but if we wanted to appoint those 3 members at this point in time. John?
Thanks. I'd like to move that we appoint the 3 that currently wish to sit on that have put their name forth, and address the 4th one at a later date.
Can you just include in your motion that those appointments will begin January 1st, 2023?
I would also like to include that those will be January 1st, 2023.
Okay. Any further discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Is there anything further, Ann?
Nope.
Okay,
We're
with
all
that,
set.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting. Morris has moved adjournment of the organizational meeting. Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Our regular meeting is scheduled to begin at 11 a.m. So we will reconvene at 11 a.m. for our regular meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.